This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 28th day of March in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Canadian High Commission, together with the Ministry of Health, launched a $2.5 million Canadian dollar maternal, newborn and child health project today. The 5-year project, which is being funded by Global Affairs Canada, will be executed by McMaster University. It is designed to improve the quality and availability of maternal, newborn, and child health care in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. Ahead of signing the agreement with McMaster University, the Canadian High Commissioner to Guyana, Mark Berman, said the project is a demonstration of Canada's commitment to the empowerment of women and girls. He believes it will offer tremendous support to the maternal and child health activities currently being implemented by the Guyanese government. Mr. Berman also noted that while the Health Ministry has been equipping health facilities with the necessary resources to provide safe deliveries and a conducive environment for babies and their mothers, there are still noticeable gaps in the system. It was explained that major emphasis will be placed on communities that may be far away from hospitals, which present a real challenge to women in need of immediate medical attention. The Canadian High Commissioner noted that the implementing partners, McMaster University and Giving Health to Kids, will be working closely with the Ministries of Health and Local Government and Regional Development, the Georgetown Hospital and the University of Guyana to ensure the successful execution of the project. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said the project will build on the foundation laid more than a decade ago, which saw the introduction of neonatal services and an increased focus on maternal and child health. As of 2019, Guyana's maternal mortality ratio was 169 per 100,000 live births, while the child mortality rate was 28 per 1,000 live births. In the case of neonatal mortality, the rate, according to the World Health Organization, was 17 per 1,000 live births. Advisor to the Minister of Health, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, said while progress was made when compared to the 1990s, more work still needs to be done. He said Guyana will not be able to achieve its sustainable development goals unless its indicators for maternal and child mortalities are dramatically improved from what it is today. Dr. Ramsamy admitted that the services provided to hinterland communities require improvement, and the project will aid in that regard. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
At Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Fina, how you could get yarning on today's pension day?
I collect my pension and went to the market since the 23rd.
How you mean?
I tell you, Levy switched to lodgement. Since me last book finished, I switched.
You join up a lodge, was this lodgement?
Oh, the NIS lodgement system allows pensioners to get their pension into their bank account. The money is paid into the account by the 23rd of the month, so you could withdraw it whenever you like.
So wait, I ain't got to join no long line. Why you ain't tell me before?
I told you, Cleo. When you go to submit your life certificate, ask them for the allotment application form. When you complete it and the bank verify it, then NIS is going to process it. After they process it, your money will be in your account.
Well, all right, I join them now.
And don't forget, when you're carrying your life certificate, ask them for the lodgement application form.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Monster, bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster, grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
In the world of politics now, the Working People's Alliance, which has already indicated that it will not be participating in the upcoming local government elections, is now calling on citizens to boycott the elections. At a press conference this morning, WPA executive member Takuma Ogunsi said the local government elections are a political entrapment, given the government's domination at the level of the Elections Commission, its refusal to support the use of biometrics at the place of poll, and the failure to ensure a clean voters list ahead of the elections.
We believe that they have set up a path to the next elections. When they finish with the local government elections, they will rig when they finish rigging the local government elections, they will rig the constitutional reform process, because at the end of the day, in that process, whatever you say, but the government got a final say. And then they will rig the national elections.
The WPA executive members said instead of casting their votes at the local government elections, Guyanese should turn the 12th of June into a day of resistance. Another executive member of the WPA, Dr. David Hines, said to have such a resistance will be nothing new to Guyana, as he referenced in 1978, when the People's Progressive Party, together with the WPA and other civil society organizations, called on Guyanese to boycott the constitutional referendum. Dr. Hines also made it clear that the Working People's Alliance is not against elections, as elections form a critical part of a democratic society. But he said the mere process of conducting elections is not sufficient.
Of course, we are not contesting the local government elections, but we want to make it very clear, we are not against elections. We are not against elections as part of the democratic process. But we feel elections by themselves are not akin to democracy. Elections are democratic procedure. Democracy is tested by the substance of the governance. You can be democratically elected, meaning a free and fair election, all right? But how do you use that election to govern? Are you going into people's villages, and rather than dialogue with them, you are dismantling their homes? Are you distributing the resources of the state in an equitable manner?
Hines said the WPA is prepared to contest elections independently or together with its partners once the elections meet the test of fairness. Like Mr. Ogunsi, he contended that currently the electoral list is bloated. Today, the Alliance for a Change and a Partnership for National Unity have also expressed grave concern over the credibility of the list. The Alliance for a Change has indicated that it will not contest the local government elections, while the APNU has offered no clear indication on its next step, although it has filed all documentation to participate. The Working People's Alliance formed part of the APNU coalition, but stepped away from that partnership just after the controversial 2020 national elections. The Guyana Elections Commission took a decision today to interview 4 of the shortlisted nominees for the position of Deputy Chief Election Officer. The nominees are Melanie Marshall, Muhammad Arjun, Deodat Prasad, and Anil Giddings. Initially, Neil Backus was among those shortlisted. However, he was not selected for the interviewing round. The interviews will be conducted tomorrow at the Guyana Elections Commission Secretariat. In a telephone interview with News Source, Elections Commissioner Vincent Alexander said, while 4 persons have been shortlisted, Melanie Marshall is the only candidate that has met all of the requirements.
We are going to have problems because Marshall Anil does not meet the requirement. If we go strictly in terms of the requirements in the advertisement, the only person who meets them is Marshall.
Last April, Marshall was appointed GCOM's voter registration manager. Prior to her appointment, she acted in the position for 6 years. However, she has been working with the Elections Commission for more than 16 years. Marshall holds a Commonwealth Master of Public Administration and a Bachelor of Science in Public Management from the University of Guyana. Alexander said aside from Marshall, Prasad has also served the Elections Commission and the Secretariat extensively.
That is on the margin because he has been RO, but he's not been prominent, but he's been RO for many years. So he's on the margin of the years. So that will be our basis for arguing to deal with that. Marshall definitely has the years. Anil does not have the years.
Prasad has been an assistant registration officer since December 2005. He has a Master of Business Administration and a master's degree in Public Administration from the University of Guyana. He also once served as a commissioner on the Ethnic Relations Commission. Meanwhile, Giddings is currently serving as GCOM's Information Technology Manager. He holds a Master's of Science degree in Project Management from the University of the West Indies and also a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Computer Engineering. The move by the chair of the Elections Commission to have the commission interview the shortlisted nominees comes more than 17 months after the Elections Commission advertised the post.
Trace Management, Structure, and Cashmere Rosé presents Sundress Soiree, Champagne and Cocktail Event, Saturday, April 8th at Everest Cricket Ground. Contribution $8,000. This is a day into night event. Doors open from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. Free. Cocktail hour, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sundress Soiree. You know the vibes.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more combo pack of flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack, now with a new look and new mix. Grab your pack today.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
Get ready for the ultimate event as Mackenzie Alumni Association presents official Night of Elegance. Reunion and fundraiser. It's going down on Friday, 21st of April at the Edward Benjamin Conference Center, Linden, Guyana. Ticket donation $50. Dinner included. Come and enjoy the vibes from old school R&B and hip hop. It's the official Night of Elegance. Night of Elegance.
As part of its ongoing campaign to clamp down on the smuggling of chicken and other goods, the Guyana Revenue Authority is seeking the public's help to track down smugglers. In the past few weeks, local chicken producers have been complaining about an increase in the smuggling of chicken from neighboring Brazil and Suriname. The smuggled chicken is being sold at a cheaper cost in a number of communities. In a statement today, the Revenue Authority said it has been tracking down the situation and has already placed a number of persons before the courts in relation to smuggling activities. The Revenue Collection Agency today said anyone who may have information on smuggling activities in any part of the country should contact its Law Enforcement Division on telephone number 227-6060, extension 3202. And they can share the information with that number. The GRA is promising that all of the information will be treated with the strictest of confidentiality. The revenue body is also reminding the public that smuggling remains illegal, and anyone who attempts to import or export with intent to defraud the Revenue Authority of any duties is guilty of an offense and is liable for such offense to fines and/or imprisonment in accordance with the law. The GRA said in recent months its Law Enforcement and Investigation Division, with the help from the allied regulators, has clamped down on a number of operations involving illegal importation and the movement of large quantities of illegally obtained goods, including chicken and alcohol. Several persons were charged in relation to those offenses. Let's tell you now that police investigators in Port Kaituma in Region 1 have detained a 17-year-old youth from the village who is accused of murdering a 21-year-old pork knocker from the same community. The pork knocker's body was found at the side of the roadway near his home with blood oozing from his head early this morning. Persons in the area said on Monday night the pork knocker and the 17-year-old were seen at a shop drinking alcoholic beverages. They were both intoxicated, according to a police report. A farmer who discovered the pork knocker's lifeless body and rushed him to the hospital on an ATV said he was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. It is suspected that a man might have been hit across the head. Investigators carried out searches at the scene and eventually arrested the lone suspect this afternoon. In the courts now, the Charleston man who told police investigators that he panicked after accidentally hitting his grandmother across the head, resulting in her death, and later dumping her body in an empty lot, was today charged with the elderly woman's murder. He was remanded to jail. The 27-year-old Charleston resident Yannick Gilpin appeared before Magistrate Lerone Daly and was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. He is accused of murdering his 88-year-old grandmother, Patricia Buffel, between the 18th and 19th of March. The woman's lifeless body was discovered wrapped in a sheet and dumped in an empty lot across the road from where she lives in Charlestown. The body was found after a relative of the elderly woman became concerned at her disappearance and contacted the police. The grandson who lived with the woman initially told police investigators that she was hospitalized. But after checks, the local hospitals turned up empty-handed. Police investigators started to carry out searches in the neighborhood. It was those searches that led to the discovery of the body. The accused is expected to make his next court appearance in April. He will remain behind bars until then.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water, now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Cuba has announced that voters had elected all 470 candidates for the National Assembly on the ballot over the weekend, calling the results a home run, while opposition groups critique the elections as nothing more than a farce. Election officials on Monday said that the initial turnout was 75.9%, topping participation in municipal elections in November and the referendum on the Cuban Family Code, which legalized gay marriage back in September. Participation in Sunday's election was widely seen by both pro and anti-government groups as a proxy for gauging support for Cuba's communist leadership at a time of deep economic crisis and growing social unrest. Though 3 of every 4 Cubans voted on Sunday, that rate was still nearly 10 percentage points below participation in the 2018 legislative elections, and well below all previous elections under late President Fidel Castro, when nearly every Cuban of voting age cast a ballot. President Miguel Diaz-Canel, who led a government campaign to encourage turnout on Sunday, called the results a win for Cuba. Authorities in Peru have announced that they have seized 2.3 tons of cocaine disguised as ceramic tiles destined for Turkey via a growing maritime route for illegal drugs. The bust took place on Friday at a warehouse at Peru's biggest port. At a press conference yesterday, the police displayed the cocaine, which had been fixed to rubber sheets to appear as hundreds of ceramic tiles packed in wooden boxes inside a shipping container. One official said the seized cocaine was valued at least $20 million. Peru seized a record 86.4 tons of drugs and illegal substances last year. Peru and nearby Colombia are among the top global producers of cocaine and of the coca leaf it is made of, according to the United Nations. And finally tonight, international news. At least 39 people have died in a fire at a migrant processing center in Mexico, which officials say started during a protest against deportations. Many of the victims are thought to be Venezuelans who were trying to reach the U.S. The fire at the center broke out shortly before 10 o'clock on Monday night. The Mexican city, located across the Rio Grande River from El Paso, has seen an influx of people in recent weeks. Many have been heading to the U.S. border in expectation of an end to Title 42, a pandemic-era policy which gives the U.S. government the power to quickly expel migrants trying to cross its border. The Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said migrants had set mattresses ablaze during their protests. Photos from the scene showed body bags lined up on the pavement outside the migrant camp. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.